What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Hamii channel. We're going to be pretty much over here in some Vanguard for the day. Basically going to be talking about the WELGUN and the new setup that I pretty much came up with the other day. Sitting over here, I still have like the dog clan tag on just because I think it's kind of a funny meme. I'm pretty much going to keep that on for probably the majority of the rest of the season, just for the fact that it's going to be pretty hilarious to see people actually say something about it in game chat. Because I've ran into a couple people so far as I've just been playing to get other guns done. Try to get the level 1000. I highly doubt I'll be able to get the 1K for the season, but we'll see what we can do. I know I can still do all the zombie camos, especially 5 XP we got going on here, because we have pretty much XP for everything. These guys have pretty much not turned this off since the beginning of the game, and the way you get like challenge XP on top of double XP basically makes it quad XP. So the leveling when you're going for camo challenges is quite literally the best way to boost your XP. So I'll probably see myself over there doing some more zombie camos. I haven't really worked on any since the last time I got a camo done, which was pretty much atomic. And as you can see here, we also got atomic on the WELGUN, and this is pretty much going to be what the video is about. I kind of want to talk about the WELGUN and then probably rant about some other things I'm sure we'll more likely get to. I'm going to try to play a game here. I don't know if it's going to be a good one. I'm just going to go ahead and play a match and talk about the gun a little bit. And just also, I noticed a thing when it comes to like actually trying to find a game in hardcore, and the way I have it set up in particular, I won't ever find a match with less than like 60 ping. It'll always go to up to like 90 plus, and that'll actually be like the match I end up fighting, like this one right here. You see a lot of people are on console, like only one other person was on PC here. I kind of judge lobbies based upon what their input is, and if I find more PC players, well, people playing on PC than on console, then I do know that it's definitely going to be a lobby that... Did I just spawn into... Okay. What? Okay, alright. Besides the point of terrible spawns, as you guys just saw, yeah, I basically judge hardcore lobbies, or any lobby in general, based upon what the input is. If people have a lot of like PCs in the lobby, or everybody's playing on PC with their controllers and stuff, even if it's PC, keyboard, or keyboard and mouse, whatever you want to say, it doesn't really matter. As long as it's a PC, I will think to myself that they're automatically thinking more about what they're doing because they have a PC to play on, and they more than likely built it or got it bought and knew that it was better performing. So I automatically think they're a little bit more thoughtful about what they're doing and how they're playing. So I don't care to play against them. I just judge lobbies based upon that, which I think is a good way to like think about it, because it does definitely only show that it's true, especially with some of the people that you do end up going against, some of these skill-based matchmaking lobbies. But pretty much what this video was going to be about, I think, is just talking about this class setup that I ended up making for the WELGUN, and how I think it's probably going to be the best gun for hardcore at the moment. I did run around with a DP27, which was another one of my favorite guns to use in hardcore, and it just had a crazy good setup on it that I absolutely love. The fire rate was really good. Travel time for bullet velocity and everything like that was really well. The WELGUN here is pretty much my favorite all-around weapon for hardcore. It's got like the best all-around just setup, mobility, time to kill, because it's one shot almost 100% of the time, and I'll explain why it's a one shot. It's only because I have a certain setup on it, and we'll more than likely give you guys a class setup here at some point in time in the video. I'm not exactly sure when I will do it, but I will eventually show you guys the entire setup on this. I know I've had a bunch of people ask me on stream what it was. Yeah, so this versus the DP, my other favorite hardcore weapon, I would say this is definitely my new favorite. I would definitely suggest everybody use this instead if you guys were using any of the DP setups that I put out before with like Twitch clips and stuff like that, because on Twitch I have a whole bunch of clips where you can just type in whatever gun you want to see a setup with, and it'll show like an attachment setup like thing where I'm on the screen just, I don't know, probably rambling about something, and then the guns showcase there. Did I get a collateral? Oh, no, okay. I got a lot of other master procedures on enemy teams, so I see a lot of people grinding this game in particular, but I think what it is, a lot of people are just going for camo challenges, and they just seem to be getting more XP that way, especially when we have double XP like practically every single day in the game. It's as if the game's like 10 years old and they just have that infinite double XP as you would see on like old CODs like from back in the day. If you're like, go back on Modern Warfare 1 and just, if you manage to find a lobby, it's always consistent double XP. Well, that was a nice little spawn right there. Come on, man, really? I don't think I'm gonna be dropping any nukes with this. Probably play one more match, and then that'll probably be the video. I have been dropping consistent nukes with this in these skill-based matchmaking lobbies, which is, this thing, it speaks for itself when you can do that and just fluently run around and have fun and play with some friends too on top of that. Because that's probably one of the biggest things I hate about, like, you know, the whole matchmaking bullshit we got going on, is just the fact that you can't play with any of your friends that are even subpar at most. If they're not absolutely sweating, you're more than likely not even gonna be able to play with them, because they're just gonna have a terrible experience. It's also gonna make the experience for you bad too, and that's probably one of my biggest talking points that I will always say and always talk about when it comes down to it. I mean, at the end of the day, they're not going to change anything. Popping off right now. I don't know how I managed to even melee that guy before his reaction time, like, turned on, dude. What? The way that it's set up, it has a super slow bullet velocity, so your bullets take a really long time to hit their target. If you're, like, shooting anybody from more than 50 yards or 50 feet or whatever have you, you're more than likely gonna have to at least lead the bullet a little tiny bit. Nothing crazy, but it's enough to know, like, it's enough to realize that it's pretty bad. Like, you can feel the difference in how it works versus, like, a gun with super high bullet velocity. And then, no way, dude, I was on a 22 and I died by one of those mines. I've never seen anybody use these mines until Atomic started being able to get unlocked. I don't know what it is, but so with this build, I have the fastest bullet velocity you possibly can get without like sacrificing a lot of kick. I'm also running the 45 ACP 48 round drum mag. I think it is. There's a 20 round drum mag that you can that you unlock like literally right away. I think it's one of the first couple of things that you unlock for the gun. So it makes it like relatively good to use for a little while if you're playing core with it. This would pretty much, I think you could pretty much use the same exact setup in core and still have like pretty much the best setup with it, unless you want a more like a higher rate of fire or less DPS with the I think it's a 9mm. I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to double check when we go back to see the class setup with it. I don't know if I'll do the class setup now and play another match and try to drop. I just dropped 107 kills in my first game on for like recording this, so I mean, I think that's gonna be good enough. I'll just have this right here. Did I melee that guy or what happened right there? The kill cams are so bugged, dude. So with all that out of the way with that match there, I'm gonna pretty much just show you guys this entire setup. As you can see, we pretty much have no barrel on this at all. We're running just a normal slate reflector because I don't really like the iron sights too much. You can run the 2.5 D16 scope, which is one of my favorite scopes. Everybody uses this on pretty much every gun, especially if you go over to Warzone. You're more than likely gonna see everybody using this on their custom loadouts and like Rebirth or whatever else you're playing. We're also running the folding stock for faster ADS, walking speed, and all of that. Better recoil too. And it has flinch resistance and recoil recovery, which isn't that bad because you're not going to really get hit too much when you're fighting other people in hardcore, so the flinch doesn't really matter. And the accuracy and recoil during sustained fire isn't really that big of a deal either because you're most likely going to be getting one-shot kills, especially in hardcore. I'm running Frenzy just to heal myself up without having to be one-shot. Quick for the weapon kit because there's literally nothing else on here that's worth it for me besides like maybe surplus for kill XP. That actually works really well. If you guys are trying to level up guns and you're not doing it in any other way, like other than playing multiplayer, definitely put surplus on every single one of your guns as soon as you can. Definitely gonna be the best way you can level up your guns. As you can see, we got the 45 round ACP 48 round mag here. You can run the 9mm 64. I mean, got a little bit of a better reload, but you're only getting a 9.9% increase in your fire rate, but you're losing so much on other things like your vital damage. You're losing bullet velocity, gonna be even slower. So I don't know. I think personally this is gonna be the best round to run, even though it does give you a little bit of a less fire rate. It doesn't really matter, especially if you are just hitting all your shots. And I mean, 600 is still really relatively fast. It's not bad, but in hardcore, if you're trying to lead a target across the map, you're definitely gonna have to think about it a little bit. Now right here's like the secret sauce. Low point rounds, increasing limb damage. I know they get rid of a little bit of affected damage range, but in hardcore, it doesn't really matter, especially if you have a 45 damage per shot increase too. I don't know exactly what the measurement is or the increase with hollow point on top of limb damage. I don't know if it's like 1.2% extra damage or something like that, so we might end up with like 60% damage, just not entirely sure. But definitely run hollow point on this if you're going to play hardcore, because that's literally what makes it work the best. Like, that's what gives you one shots across the map, especially if you hit them in like the toenail or something like that. It really sends that shit off, bro, and then they just fall over and just die, man. It's so nice. Pine tar grip, pretty much the best grip to run. There's no other grip that really works as best as that one does. I mean, you could put on the recoil booster for a little bit faster fire rate. You're only going to lose about -5% for both vertical and horizontal recoil, so it won't be too bad. But I mean, personally, I like the strafe compensator just for a little bit of extra recoil. I might end up throwing on a silencer and seeing how that works and see if it helps out at all. If I do end up doing that, I'll just have an updated version of this setup somewhere on like Twitch or something like that. So if you guys want to see anything over on Twitch, such as class setups that I have little quick snippets of, go over to twitch.tv/HHamii and give me a follow there. And yeah, pretty much for the perks, I'm just running Fortified and Forward Intel. I got a little secret about Forward Intel, but I'm gonna save that for another video. And Fortified is probably one of the most busted fucking perks in the game still. It literally still doesn't work at all. You can either, it's so random, you can either get blown up by a gammon bomb or you can get hit markered by it and literally be able to take two of them at once. I don't understand why it's so bugged. I think it has to do with more skill-based matchmaking bullshit, but honestly, I'm not even going to get into that because that's an entirely other subject. That's going to pretty much wrap up the video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully, you stayed to the end to watch the class setup, and if you did, go ahead and drop a like. That would be greatly appreciated. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you drop a subscription as well. See if we can get 50,000 subs by the end of this game. I don't know if we can. YouTube is definitely shadow banned since the lack of content, but it's to be expected. YouTube is definitely based upon algorithm. If you don't match the algorithm and what it wants at that particular time, you're just going to get kicked out. People are going to stop getting your notifications when you post videos if you do come back and start uploading again. So anybody is thinking about stopping their content, if you can, I would suggest not to. But if you got things going on in your life where you can't really do it, you know, you got things happening where you don't really feel up to it, then by all means, definitely take your break, because I needed mine, and I'm glad that I did, and I'm glad to be back as well. Thank you guys for watching. I'm going to go ahead and catch you guys later, and hope you guys have a good one. Peace.